Welcome all to DeFi, crypto, and airdrops. Sorry about the late start. It's my fault. And then Deadwood. Um, yeah, sorry. I was in a meeting, and so it ran a little long, and Josh must have had to go run to do something. But it's on me. It's on me that we're late. Sorry, Deadwood. So tonight we got a couple of things to talk about, and I'll to Jeff here in a second. But really, what I think to focus on is a new project called AmpliFi, which is an AI crypto project for DeFi. But I actually want Jeff to go first, if you're ready, Jeff.
Yeah, have to use the little boys' room. Yeah, welcome everyone. I did see. Thanks for bringing up the AmpliFi because I didn't know that they had news that dropped yesterday of their beta, right?
Yep.
So that's going to be exciting. Man, we've got a lot of stuff that's been going on. Specifically, well, the project that we covered a week or two ago on intellectual property called the Story Protocol. They launched their mainnet and their token. And there's a weird thing going on where a project called Kaito is rewarding users for, they call it yapping. So basically talking about projects. And you earn these yaps for talking about projects in the blockchain space. And it's very hard to, or at least like, I haven't been able to get any yaps, but other people have just for whatever reason, but nobody seems to know how you get them. And the airdrop for this is supposed to be huge. But anyways, they are rewarding users more for talking about projects than actually using like the testnet or being like a true user of the protocol. So it was kind of frustrating because Story Protocol gave people quite a lot for yapping and not necessarily utilizing the testnet and, spending the time to complete transactions and shit like that. So there was a lot of people quite frustrated. And I understand the need to talk about projects and share them with your community and stuff, but you need to have a balance, where you're not rewarding people just talking about it 5 times more than people who are actually putting in the work to battle test the protocol before it's launched. So, and I put my frustrations out there and stuff too, but I made a comment about the airdrop, saying it was kind of peanuts compared to the time put into it. And I have some viewers who are in different African countries that, even $10 is a lot to them.
Oh,
and yeah. They were sharing their frustrations in my post. I don't want to seem like an asshole just because it's a shitty airdrop, and I think it's, I want to get, I put in the time and effort, and I don't just, talk about the projects on here and share the information on Twitter, but I also put in the time to test these products, in the testnet and the development phases. So, I want to be, if they're going to reward you, I want to be rewarded for my efforts put in, not just, $50 or $100 for months of work. And
so
I'm going to
the airdrop should match, the amount of effort that's required to to perform the hoops that they require you to jump through.
Yeah, and especially if other people who are just typing stuff on Twitter, they might have a large community, but they're not putting in that effort on the testnet, in the ecosystem. A lot of times they're just getting rewarded for talking about it, and and it's frustrating, but I understand, the whole game. But I felt I felt kind of like an asshole for, making these people feel like that what I was getting wasn't really, I don't know. I just it didn't feel authentic to myself. So I took half of my allocation and I gave it away to 4 lucky people. So, yeah, because I mean, it's not going to change my life. It's like $100 that I ended up giving away between 4 people. So I know that it can make an impact in their life, and especially airdrop hunting. Out in you're in Africa and you don't really have a lot of money to begin with, and it takes some of these not just test nets but
Shit,
mainnet
there's
stuff.
plenty of people here in the U.S. that don't have a ton of money.
Yeah.
You don't got to be in Africa.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey,
eggs.
fuck West Virginia, man.
Eggs aren't cheap.
Oh yeah. Hey, they're cheaper here than anywhere else, I think. Because I paid like $5 for pasture organic eggs.
Well, other than feed, mine are free. So.
Oh yeah. I know. I need to get some of those free eggs, man.
Right. I need to get in on some of that free egg. It's like an airdrop.
Yeah, I know. But with the other half of that airdrop that I got, I just I spent it on minting an NFT on the Color Marketplace. So this is an IP marketplace on the Story protocol where you can discover intellectual property assets and license them. So they have these like color cats, which are non-transferable, I think at the moment, but they're going to cut the supply and cap it at I think tomorrow, but it's their kind of special flagship, first NFT launch on Story. So I just said it was like $50. So I was like, why not? I got the airdrop for free. So it wasn't really gonna, I think it's a bit high for the price. Even, I don't know. I just want to kind of have some skin in the ecosystem and using my airdrops for other things, taking part of that. And I'll show you kind of what what this looks like, because it's interesting. I don't, since Story's the first protocol to do this with the intellectual property, I don't know anyone else that has. Oh, am I not sharing? Oh, I haven't been sharing.
Yeah, let me put it on. There we go. Sorry, I didn't know you were presenting. I didn't.
Oh no, that's my fault for not looking. I'm like sitting here talking like, yeah, look at here.
Dude, the other day on one of the shows that I did, like the pop-up show, for the first 5 minutes, I was muted. I've had a bunch of them where I'm trying to do presentations and I'm not like switching the screens. Don't feel bad, man.
Oh man, this thing is gonna zoom in on me. I don't want it to. Yeah, so this is the little color cat that was minted, and this is so funny because my DJ name is the One Hatter, because I have a thing with the Mad Hatter, and I actually got this tattooed, this Hatter tattoo right on my chest that I had a friend of mine, draw in his own style. So having this minted was really, it was what?
Enough with the skin. This isn't OnlyFans.
Oh yeah. Hey, it's hot boy summer all year round, man.
Right. Up in here.
Tell them I live in fitness, man.
Right.
So when I saw this mint, this was so cool because it's kind of, special to me with the top hat and stuff. And I like the little tiger stripe. It reminds me of a Calvin and Hobbes. The Hobbes, little, what is he? I don't remember what Hobbes is, but that was a cool little cartoon. But
Hobbes is a tiger.
There's a tiger? Okay. Almost like Tigger. So you can attach license terms, programmable intellectual property licenses. You can define the rules of a license agreement that is enforced on chain by Story protocol. And you can license tokens or your license tokens can be minted from a terms and use to grant permissions to use IP assets. So you can create, not just for this, but this is an example of what can be done, with stuff in the future by attaching license terms, and you can generate a certain amount of terms that can be used and licensed out. So just think about the potential with technology and stuff. So it's pretty mind blowing, the capability of this stuff. I don't know. What do you think about the whole IP now that we have this protocol out there? I know that the token's taking a dump, obviously.
Well,
a mix of things, but
you mean like the actual use case for tokenization for IP?
Yeah, and
Well, I mean,
even
as
with
far as
the
use
NFTs.
case, well, as far as the use case for tokenization of intellectual property, I mean that's a huge market. I'm wanting to say that. I mean, it's in like the tens of trillions or something like that. Because I mean, you got to figure that any and every patent that has ever been made is intellectual property. Music is intellectual property. Anything that's copyrighted or anything like that, it's all considered intellectual property. Technology, just all of those different things, and whenever those patents are filed, patent theft is a huge issue. And so tokenizing those things, just like with real estate, tokenizing real estate to where, to eliminate title theft, it's the same thing. It would, overnight, it would get rid of it. And I mean, and you're talking, each, just one piece of intellectual property can be worth trillions of dollars, or at least billions of dollars. So, so yeah, as far as use case, whoever gets traction on this, and it's actually something that Casper, one of my favorite projects, was doing. Is there was IPWE. The IPWE actually went bankrupt before they were able to go live, but they had a really good traction with basically being the portal for people to tokenize intellectual property, and they were going to build on Casper, but again they went bankrupt, and so of course Casper just moved on. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see who captures that market. It's kind of like with tokenization of real world assets. You got Ondo, you have XRP that wants a piece of that action. You got a lot of different players, trying to be the go-to, for that. So, we'll kind of see who ends up floating to the top. Ondo is definitely getting some good traction when it comes to tokenization.
Yeah, this is interesting. So this came out today. They're joining Stanford's Future of Digital Currency initiative. They'll be assisting Stanford on open research problems in blockchains.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, they're right up the road from Stanford, or like a mile away. So
you can almost smell the wokeness.
Oh, I know, right? Man, everyone in there's got
walking
hair
through the air. Wokeness smells a lot like patchouli.
Yeah. Oh man, don't even get me started, man.
Right. Just jokes.
No, I live in California. I love everything.
Right.
No, even with artists or animation and stuff, if people have a cartoon that they want to license, or someone that, I don't know, it just, there's a lot of endless possibilities. But do you think IP is bigger than real world assets though?
I honestly, it doesn't really matter. Which is bigger. I mean, they're both huge markets.
Yeah.
It's,
or which I guess there's more Um,
Well,
I
and
get,
technically they're
yeah,
the
you can't really,
technically they're the same thing. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
tokenization, creating an NFT that represents a physical asset. Um, I mean, it's a patent is for all intents and purposes a physical asset or an asset. So it can be gold, silver, real estate, intellectual property, stocks, treasuries, whatever. Basically you're making something that's illiquid liquid, and and
yeah.
securing it, ensuring that the person that actually owns it is the one, and it's the whole trustless deal where if you're buying intellectual property that someone you can ensure that the smart contract will ensure that you're buying it from the actual owner, and because it's registered, it's recorded on the on chain. Make sure that it's free of any encumbrances and all the legalities, and that once that pay the money, then it releases it, and you become the owner, and it's pretty
Hmm.
straightforward. So yeah, no, I think that blockchain is one of the largest use cases that I see right now is tokenization, of real world assets. That's where I see adoption, worldwide, wide scale adoption happening is with
Hmm.
tokenization.
Yeah, yeah. It's I just I want to see more competition in this area, especially because you with intellectual property. I don't know if you want to see maybe because you don't want to see one protocol just take over all of the IP, or
No, I mean, the thing
especially
is
RWAs, but
about the largest player that would really put one project above all others would be if like somebody got the contract for the U.S. Patent Office, to where they were the
yeah.
ones that were going to take care of their database or something like that. That would be they'd become the Amazon of of IP, and blockchain. And then of course you could have companies that specialized in tokenizing, just putting it on chain, for a fee and that sort of thing. But something like Constellation DAG or whatnot would be the data repository for it.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up the U.S. Patent Office. What do you think that they'll start bridging or bringing current IP onto the blockchain? And if so, because I know
Oh no,
Elon
for
and
sure.
Trump have talked about bringing government stuff onto the blockchain and maybe using Cardano or something, Cardano or the Move protocol or Move network. But
Yeah, yeah.
IP that is currently at the patent office, U.S. Patent Office, and who would be in charge of moving that onto the blockchain?
Well, like I said, I mean, the way that I would see it happening is that the U.S. Patent Office would probably be the one that was a repository, with Cardano or DAG or whoever, as
Mm.
far as
Oh
recording
yeah,
the data,
DAG. I forgot.
and then and then you would have services that basically whenever somebody wanted to file their patent, then you would take it to one of those services, and they would be the ones that put it on chain and sent it to the patent office for review, and the patent office would either grant a patent number or not.
Hmm.
Same process as now,
Yeah.
basically, just but it would just all of it would happen um on chain, and it would happen a lot faster, and and of course get rid of the theft.
Yeah.
Well,
At work, I'm going through a similar process where I'm taking our existing projects that need to they're in a shared drive on the server, that has no backup, and these are very important project, like all of the project files for our designs for the past 20 years. And there's no like revision control, there's no repository where you can save these things and have backups. So I've been tasked for the past year to update or upload all of these old project files into a new repository system, and also train the engineers on how to use the repository system. And so it is important to have stuff that you can save and verify, and it's a pain in the ass, but I just hope that when they do take the current IP that's just on paper. I mean, what is it at the patent office? Just on fucking paper? Is that what they, or is
I
it
honestly,
electronic
couldn't
now,
tell
or
you.
something?
I mean,
With archaic as the government systems are.
the thing is as long as it's in some kind of electronic database, they could map it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know enough about computers to where basically they would just map all the fields. They would just say, okay, this patent
Yeah.
number, this person owns it, this is what it's for. Any relevant
Mm-hmm.
information, they would just need to map the database, and it could
Yeah.
automatically be uploaded to whatever chain they chose.
Use an AI system or an AI agent
Yeah,
or
no,
something
the AI could
to
map it.
copy and map. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah, because
so
having somebody painstakingly do all that would be just, I mean,
oh
especially
yeah.
patents with all the numbers and,
Oh no, absolutely. It just they could have AI do it relatively easily. So Deadwood, you asked if we think you could if Plume could see 12.5 cents again. I
mhm.
definitely think so. I mean, I'm kind of biased because I really think Plume is a great project. I mean, they're partnered with Ondo. Um, they just with all of the different partnerships alone that they have. I mean, I really think that they're going to see good things once the market starts moving. And kind of as you can see on the charts, it looks like kind of from where we're currently at, we're at 13 cents. Kind of looks like the next level of resistance is around 14 cents, and another one at 15. And then it looks like just like at every cent above where we're at right now is,
Yeah.
and we don't have a whole lot of history to go off of. I mean, it only launched,
No.
last month, so you can't really chart it out too well. But just based off of what we see so far, um, obviously the highest it had gone was 20 cents. So, I would definitely like to see it. It's going to go above freaking it's definitely going to go above 13 cents would be my guess, because I mean we're there already.
Yeah, it's like a 5-6 cent range that we're in. I mean, like
Yeah,
11
I mean,
cents to 17 or at most, which is nice. You didn't see a complete fall off. That's
no,
really,
and that's
really good.
that's actually a really good point. Is that like most projects, they launch and they just pump to high heaven and then drop off to next to nothing, and
Mm-hmm.
and then they're constantly trying to trickle up to get back up to the massive pump that it got at the very beginning. This
Mm-hmm.
launched about a month ago. It pumped up to 20 cents, dumped down, if you want to call it dumping down, down to 10 cents, and 10 cents has been the floor. I mean, that's and it's only touched it twice. Whereas,
Yeah.
on the upper end, as far as resistance, 16 cents, 15, 16 cents is kind of the strong the strong resistance that we're meeting. So I think if we can break above 16, 17 cents, then 20 cents is the next stop, and after that,
Mm-hmm.
it's price discovery. All right.
Yeah. And it doesn't help the market's just been kind of
Yeah,
humming
trending
along
sideways.
sideways, but it's beautiful for the DeFi.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, I've been loving it for my DeFi. I mean, they're all in range. I've been earning, just over the weekend, I probably harvested, like 250 bucks. So,
Oh yeah.
like right now,
How's the VVV been?
the VVV's been doing all right. I mean, to be honest, I think I might have broke even because I think total that I had put into VVV was about 1,700 bucks, and I'm sitting at
Mm,
800 bucks. So I've lost about $900, but I've made probably about 900 bucks, and so I'm kind of broke even. I'm
okay.
waiting. I'm waiting to see if it can get back up, because if I can get back up to like 1,700 bucks, I might move on, because I have a nice little bag of VVV now. Um,
Oh
I think
yeah.
I'll probably move into another pool. Um, but yeah, I don't want to get out, with it being, where it's at. Everything is beat to hell right now as far as price. So I kind of want to see a nice bounce before I decide if I want to get out of it or not.
That's an interesting strategy too. Utilizing some of these way more volatile pools, and
Mhm.
if just put 300-400 bucks in, and if
Yeah,
you want
just
to, like, the
harvest the
position
shit
that
out of
you're
it.
in. Yeah, and even if you drop down, it's like, okay, well, I'll wait for it to come back up. I have a big bag of this reward sitting here.
Yeah.
So even if it comes back to break even on that and you want to exit to go somewhere else, like, okay, I don't think this is going to be good any longer. You still got that bag of rewards that can be way more than what you're initially holding. So
Oh yeah.
that's a great
No, and
way
that's
to increase your bags.
well, and that's what I'm looking at is, so far this
Mhm.
month, definitely. I mean, the markets haven't done shit. They've been trending sideways and even going down, for the most part. And I still made 1,200 bucks. It's not has definitely hasn't been my best 2 weeks,
Sideways.
but I made off of 9 grand. I've made $1,200. So I've made ten
Mm.
percent in 2 weeks, or over 10% in 2 weeks. So I mean, that's not fucking bad. It's
No.
I'm definitely not crying myself to sleep. So and of course those are in.
Only if it's with $100 bills.
That's right. That's right. I'm dabbing my tears with $100 bills.
Just
Well, and of course, with that, I've bought about $500 worth of Arrow. I cashed out $500 worth of it into Arrow. I cashed out
Mhm.
about 400 bucks into Morpho, another $132 into Ondo. Um, I got about, what else did I get? Some more Chain Link. I got about 50 bucks of Chain Link. But yeah, I mean, got a little bit of
Mhm.
VVV, but basically I just been, building up, little baby bags. And so whenever these actually start pumping again, then, that 1,200 bucks, will turn into 2,400 or 3,600, or, you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
it's just, it's a patience game, and everything's, beat down so bad. I'd be stupid to, put everything in USDC right now. Just because,
Yeah.
I think we're, more likely to go up from here than down, but I mean, hopefully. So, yeah, no, definitely. Hey, what's up, Rich J? Oh, what pools
Yeah,
am I
what
in?
pools are you in?
All right, what pools am I in? So, wrapped ETH USDC is my gravy train with biscuit wheels. That thing has been making me money since, like, yeah, and those wheels are sopping up all the gravy. So, yeah, I think it was December. Let me take a look real
Hey, and find
quick.
your bread and butter, man. If you're looking for a liquidity pool, try that one out, and or even one of the AMAs. What would you recommend to start with,
So,
and then to
if
get
if if
comfortable
if
with?
if somebody is just getting into DeFi and you're just getting starting to dip your toe in, I personally, what I did, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I'm not a financial advisor, but what I did is I started out with an AMM. So you can see up on top here, I have a USDC Arrow automated market maker. So it's not a concentrated liquidity pool. So it doesn't. It's going to earn no matter what. It doesn't have to be in a range. It does. It only makes me 40%, per year. But I got about $3,100 in there, and it makes me a steady $3 or $4 worth of Arrow every day, and it's just constantly adding that. And so once a week or something like that, I cash out $50, $60. It's a nice slow and steady way to kind of get used to it and ensure that you're going to make money. You're also going to get the price appreciation. When the price of Arrow goes up, it's not going to be as much as a HODL bag, but because it's going to be DCAing and keeping an equal amount of USDC, so it'll be selling off some Arrow. But again, I'm earning a bunch of free Arrow, so it's a great way to kind of get a feel for DeFi. Lending is a great way. You get the full effects of price appreciation, and you earn yield. So that's a great way to dip your toe in. And then, of course, one of the first ones that I got into as far as a concentrated liquidity pool was Wrapped ETH USDC. As you can see, I mean, it's, goes directly to whatever the price of ETH is. Right now, I got a 10% spread. Sometimes I'm making 500%. Sometimes I'm making 64%. This morning, I harvested about $100, and I'm sitting on about $15 right now. So, and all of this makes money while I'm sleeping. It makes money while I'm, out kayaking, if I'm working out, if I'm, doing this show. It's just, all these pools are just, constantly ticking, constantly making me fees. So, USDC Wrapped ETH, I've had since 6 December. And I would say that I've probably made about, I'd say at least 8 to 9 grand in fees off of it.
And that's off 17, 18K that you put in?
No, I haven't put that much in. What I've actually put in, I would say is probably around 15 is,
okay.
and then right now I'm sitting at about 9,200 because, like I said, I've taken a bunch of it, and of course, the price of everything's gone down, and I've rebalanced.
Yeah.
But I also, have crypto, about $2,600 worth of crypto that isn't in anything. It's just sitting in my wallet. So if you take that 2,600 and you add it to the the 9,300, then you got what 1,300? Am I doing my math right?
13K?
1,200. I'd have 12K, and then I got this other 3 up here. So I have my original 15 still, even though the market's taking a dump. I still have my
rewards
original
that you've got.
Well, no, that's with rewards. Basically, the rewards have made up for what I've lost because the markets have dumped. When the markets recover, I'm going to make that money back plus, those bags, all that crypto that I've bought in Arrow and Link and all those other things, plus my, liquidity pools are all going to go up. I've done the math, and if everything goes back up to where it was at before, I should have about $30,000 in my liquidity pools. And again, I started out with 15. So, it's, I kind of feel like I'm doing quite well for only doing this for about 2 weeks.
And that should really give everyone, the Wrapped ETH UXRP.
Yeah.
I was just about to look at that.
That would not be a bad one to get into, especially if you're bullish on XRP, and ETH and actually, if there was one that was an XLM XRP pair, because they always move together, they're correlated. Actually, I need to see if I can find like a UXRP UXXLM pair, because every time XRP pumps, XLM pumps. Every time XRP dumps.
So it's correlated to where you don't get the divergence loss,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, I appreciate that, Rich. That actually put a little light bulb in my head. Well, really
And
quick.
this is great to just really empower people because we've only been doing this 3 months, 4 at
Not
most,
even,
and
yeah, not even 3 months.
picking at least just one liquidity pool as your bread and butter, and then once you feel comfortable with that, I mean it's not difficult, and um, just taking the time to learn and going back and watching some of your videos that you've done
Oh yeah.
solo. You know, definitely check those out if you guys haven't.
Yeah, no, we have quite a few DeFi videos that we did with Drew over at Blockchain Basement. We did one. Me and Jeff have done a bunch of them, and then I've actually started doing some of my own just to try to go a little more in depth and make it smaller, easier, digestible lessons. But
Mm,
um, but yeah, DeFi is definitely powerful. I know it can be intimidating, just with you hear all these horror stories about divergence loss and stuff like that. Don't let it freak you out too bad. Start small, whatever your budget can handle. Stay away. If you're starting small, I would stick to using the base chain and chains with low
hmm
fees, so you don't get destroyed by fees and gas. And yeah, and just get in there, get into AMM, get into lending, and just start earning, and then just let that build up, and then use that to plant another DeFi seed in a liquidity pool, and then you have two or three, and then just let all of those build up until you have enough to go into another liquidity pool, and just keep planting those seeds, and kind of as you scale and grow, you're going to learn. So, well, let's jump
Yep.
into AmpliFi real quick. So
Oh
I'll just kind of give you
yeah.
a quick overview on AmpliFi, and then we'll kind of hit a couple of these topics. And and to be honest, I'm still a little bit in the dark about it. I definitely like what it claims to do. They're about to launch their beta, which I'm really excited about. I'm hoping I can get in on it because that means I'll be able to get in on the airdrop. And but yeah, depending on how this rolls out, I will definitely be looking to get some of this. So it's called AmpliFi, of course. It's an AI powered decentralized finance platform focused on simplifying and optimizing asset management for Bitcoin and stablecoin holders. It aims to provide dual yields to investors, particularly through staking mechanisms involving Ethereum validators. So what that means is that just like liquidity pools, it's going to allow you to inject liquidity and then basically earn off of both those assets. So kind of like Uniswap, where
Mm,
like if it's an ETH Bitcoin pair, you're actually the fees that you're earning a somewhat equal amount of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and like, kind of like how Aerodrome pays out in Arrow. um, you know, uh, Uniswap pays out in the actual assets. So the key features, AI driven yield optimization. So it uses AI to dynamically manage and rebalance assets into pools with the highest annual percentage yields. So it's constantly analyzing and reallocating, as you can see here. So, this is their
hmm
dashboard. And so, like on this one, it's mode and USDC. And so you enter your deposit amount. And then what it does is you can do a basic, mixed, or advanced strategy, and it will tell you what assets that it buys. So what this pool, the bucket of assets or basket of assets that it is, and it will tell you the allocation. So you can decide, is this, are these tokens that I'm okay with holding? And in this case, they're all stables. So, you can earn 8.5% on basically holding a basket of stables. And what it will do is the AI will constantly assess and look at, and optimize to ensure that you're earning the most amount possible. So it takes, a lot of that management, away from you to where you don't constantly have to be checking in and doing those things. So the way that it does this,
removing a pain
yes,
point, man, because a lot of people
that's
don't. You want to empower people to take care of their own financial future, but it's a lot, especially if you got a family and kids and this and that, and it's just another thing that you might not want to handle in the same way to just let AI take care of it. It's a great tool.
absolutely. And Rich, you're thinking along the right lines, because as the market starts taking off, if we get the banana zone that everybody keeps talking about, like we have in the past, I'm going to be DCAing out, and as I DCA out, I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting everything in the stables, and then probably what I'll do is a portion of that, probably like 30% or 33%, I'm going to put into different platforms where I'm going to earn 15-20% on just nothing but stables. Single asset. I'm not going to do liquidity pairs. I'm not going to do any of that. It's just going to be stables, earning a steady 15-20%. Wait for the bear market to come, and as everything's dumping and I see good projects and things I want to DCA into, I'll slowly peel that dry powder out and redeploy those and into liquidity pools and things like that, and start building up my HODL bags, all through this next bear market. And and of course, with the majority, once everything bottoms out, and I get a feel for what platforms are going to kind of stand the test of time, because I don't want to get hit with with my all my stables on a platform that goes under.
Yeah.
Basically, and some of them offer insurance, and so I might start leveraging that sort of thing. But what I'm going to start doing is I'll probably start taking loans out against my I'll lend, earn yield, and then take out loans against what I'm lending, and like 30%, 40%, nothing crazy, and then I'll deploy that to earn yield, and just start that flywheel effect. But anyway, so the way that it does this is it employs proprietary algorithms, including those based on the Markowitz portfolio theory, which I don't know what that is, to optimize returns while managing risk. So again, it's just always making adjustments to optimize your yield. It uses cross-chain liquidity. So AmpliFi aggregates liquidity across multiple chains, offering automated strategies for asset growth without the user needing to manage technical aspects. It uses Chainlink. I did not know that. For cross-chain interoperability, for seamless token transfers across different blockchains. All of this being done with the AI. So it's going to optimize, to minimize gas fees and all of those things. Account abstraction. Features like social logins, Gmail, Facebook, and gasless transactions simplifies the user experience, making DeFi accessible to those less familiar with blockchain technologies.
Yes.
So, that barrier to entry, that is, for a lot of people getting into crypto is a hurdle. This, potentially would be able to, lessen that barrier to entry, allowing, normies that aren't crypto savvy to actually enter the DeFi market. Embedded non-custodial wallets provides a user experience similar to centralized exchanges, but with the benefits of DeFi yield generation, reducing the learning curve for new users. Again, lessening or mitigating another barrier to entry. Multi-chain exposure. Investors can benefit from opportunities in DeFi, liquid staking tokens, and Ethereum ETFs, ensuring capital is utilized efficiently across different ecosystems. Security and audits. So they just got done with a security audit on the 14th. The platform smart contracts have undergone security audits, and they passed. Tokenomics. The native token AmpliFi, which might be used for governance staking, or as a means to earn yields from the platform's operation. Market presence, they have a great following on socials and X. Current market data shows the token price at 0.00013 currently, with a very low 24-hour trading volume. It's not trading yet. Disregard.
No.
Purpose and goals. Basically, in a nutshell, like we were just saying, it's trying to eliminate that barrier to entry to people that aren't crypto savvy, to allow them to enter into DeFi. Maximizing yield, security, and trust. And so, yeah, that's basically what it is geared to do, is just to eliminate that barrier to entry, which isn't something I'm seeing a whole lot of projects, if any, do. So,
no, there's Abstract Network, which is the one that's geared towards consumers and gaming. They have account abstraction where you sign up with your email address and stuff, but there is more coming. There is a realization that we need something like this to onboard people from Web 2 and to just get rid of this fucking seed phrase that I see the importance, but it's just a pain in the ass, to save, to write down, to store, and you got to make sure that nobody ever looks at it, or you can't take a picture of it, anything like that. So if you can offer ways like an email address, or the Twitter, some projects are doing Twitter login and you have to have a blue check verified to use some of these projects and log in that way. But and of course there's risks of your Twitter or email getting hacked, but if you set certain two-factor authentications and security measures in place, like with the Abstract Network, when I log in with my email address, it sends me a code to my email, and if that gets hacked, like there's certain things I have set up to where they couldn't gain access to my funds to transfer out, because you have to have the two-factor authentication and all that. So anything that needs to be done, even if it's not a crypto wallet, has to be done through my phone, like different authentication apps and email verification. So it's actually pretty secure.
So
if you get your seed phrase, you're fucked.
So it looks like Sub7 did their security audit, the AmpliFi's security audit, and it looks like a Bored Ape Yacht Club has used them. It looks like Uniswap has used them. There's quite a few projects that have used them for their security audits. So and of course you can go to this website and you can actually download the security audit and look it over for yourself. But I just wanted to put that out there. And for the most part, about the only other news that I got on AmpliFi is their beta is launching here probably in the next couple weeks, if not sooner. And I actually signed up on their website to try to get in on their beta, because I'm hoping that I can earn an airdrop, but we will see.
Yeah, they said dropping this week.
Okay.
Right here on the. So if you're excited, AmpliFi beta coming this week. And I went to their documentation, and they have the security audit right here. Like you can click audits.
Oh, nice.
And they have the smart contract audit report October 20th. So you can check out what they found, stuff with Medium, low severity, high severity. So, and it's good that they catch this stuff, because even what we have when we release a design, it goes to the board manufacturing house, and they do an analysis, and it's called a DFM report, or a what is it, design for manufacturing report, and it shows high, medium, and low severity tasks that need to be addressed before we send it out to be finalized. So this is good to see, and you want to see stuff like this. If there is high severity stuff, you want to catch that and address it. It's not going to be perfect when it but before you release it, you want to catch this stuff. So it's always great to see a project using or spending the time and money to have their stuff verified and audited, and you can see full transparency. So,
hey, what's up, Danny boy? Twitter can suspend you permanently with no explanation of why. That's what they did to me, and they will not respond to any appeals. Really? That sounds like old Twitter. I don't know if I've heard of anybody getting suspended. What did you do? Like post dick pics or something? I don't even think that'd get you suspended.
No. Shit. Oh damn! Welcome back. Yeah, that's
so. So yeah, no. Like I said, I mean, obviously, I am very, very bullish on DeFi. I'm just excited. By all means, I mean, I'm definitely not complaining. This dump and this sideways action has allowed me to stack quite a bit of dry powder, or extra, plus up my bags quite a bit. But I think just like all of you out there, I'm ready for some fucking pump. I mean, it's like I want some freaking action. I want to, like I mean, I just want to 10x my bags. Have my 600,000 or $1 million. It's where I would be, and just cash out in the stables. I mean, if I hit a 10x, I'm out. I don't care if it keeps pumping. You know what I mean? I mean, with between 600,000 and $1 million. I mean, if I can make 10%, per month, doing DeFi. That's if I'm DeFiing just with $100,000, that's freaking 10 grand a month. I can freaking live with that. It's like have the rest of it in stables and just lend it out safely. Put some of it on in different places. Scatter it out to where I'm earning like 5% here, 10% there, 15% there, and just have that that constant flow. Just building USDC, waiting for the freaking market to dump, and I'll just DeFi with 100 grand, and add it to my retirement, and just be living high on the hog, making like 15 grand a month, and just loving life.
Easy, man. And
yeah,
well, relatively single guy, but you you live by yourself, but you got a lady that lives a few hours away, but it's. You don't need a lot to survive, and
no. Well, I mean, I'm
being able to utilize this to make more off of what you have, because it's amazing, amazing tool, and it allows you to live a life stress free, more
and
less
stress.
One thing
and one thing I wouldn't mind touching on, I mean, this isn't DeFi, this isn't crypto, and by no stretch am I, a financial expert or, anything like that. But I've done okay. I retired at 40 and I don't have any bills. I mean, my cabin and my property, I own outright. I have some other properties that I own outright. Anything that I, do, I just pay cash. I don't do anything on credit. And, the way that I've done that is is I paid for this property and built this place with cash. So I mean, the quicker that you can get to where if you make a bunch of money in crypto, something that I plan on doing is I was talking about lending my stables and earning a yield 15-20%, whatever, and taking a loan out on it. And I'm going to talk to a tax professional to be sure, but when you take
Mm-hmm.
loans, there is no capital gains. It's you don't pay taxes on a loan. And so
Right.
I'm going to take a loan out, and I'll probably use that loan, or at least a part of it, to buy properties and do other things that are going to earn for me, Airbnbs or whatever. And then I will, and I'm not going to over collateralize. Like I said, I'll do like maybe 30% or something like that of my stables, and and then I'll whatever revenue that property generates plus the yield from the lending, and then whatever I didn't use and that I put in the DeFi, that yield, those three revenue streams I'll just use to pay off the loan. And instead of paying 5-6% to a bank over a long period of time, I'll basically it'll be free money, because a lot of times you
Mm-hmm.
can lend at like 10%, and then you can borrow at like 12 or 13%. So it pans out to be like a 2 or 3% interest rate, because the difference between the two. But if you're buying a property that's earning, then it's going to counteract that. And then if you're not using all the money for the property, and you have put it in a liquidity pool, and you're making 40 or 50% in an AMM, then
Yep.
it's a net positive. It's
Yep.
so it once you start getting into DeFi and you start learning like all the different ways that you can earn, and the ways that you can earn in DeFi and then leverage it to actually do like real world assets. And it's just you can see that you can flywheel, not just in DeFi, but you can include real world assets into that flywheel effect, to where those real world assets are earning for you. And
Mm-hmm.
like Ondo, they're talking about where they're going to tokenize stocks, to where you can earn yield off of any and all stocks. And if that ends up being the case, that's another thing in your kind of DeFi portfolio that you'll be able to add. You know what I'm saying?
What will that do to dividends in TradFi?
It will
Because
be dividends on all stocks.
yeah, will more people leave to go? Because you only get dividends on certain stocks, right? Like I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Ford or
yeah. Like
Coke
there's
and
there's certain ones that pay more than others, and some that don't pay anything at
yeah,
all. But
yeah,
and I mean, if you can earn yield on gold, if you can earn yield on stocks, you can earn yield on lending stables, you can earn yield in liquidity pools, you can earn yield by staking. You can earn. It's just
that's so
you know
crazy.
that's that's why people really need to get into DeFi and start learning, because I mean it's
Mm-hmm.
just going to open so many doors for you. And don't feel discouraged. I mean, if you only have a couple of $100 or $1,000, again, dip your toe in. It might not seem like a lot, when you look at this. It's like if you're because I mean I got like 10 grand in, and it's $84 a day, which to me to some, I mean that's a lot of money. I mean, and, I'm happy with that. But if you say you only had $1,000 and you're only making like $8.40, it doesn't seem like a lot
Yep.
per day. But then you switch it over to monthly, and it's like, all right, instead of making 1,600, you're making 160. So off of that small amount of money, you're making $160. Off of a
Mm-hmm.
thousand dollars, you're making $160. That's a 16%. Am I doing my math right? 16%?
And that's in That's not just in stables too. That's in assets that can appreciate.
Yeah,
Um,
that's an arrow or whatever else.
yeah,
So you're making $160 off of $1,000 investment per month. So
yeah,
and that's in this sideways market that we're in right now, where the APRs are really low at the moment.
and that's
I've
not
seen it.
compounding either. That's not if you compound too.
Exactly. I mean, you can compound it back in, you can harvest
Hmm.
it, buy other assets, whatever. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, think of what you could do with $160 a month, off $1,000 investment. Um, it's, if you get to where you can compound it and get up to where you're, 3,000, then
Hmm.
that would be what, 220, 360. That's $360 a month. You're starting to get in the realm of a car payment, where, your
Yeah.
DeFi, you gets you a free car. It starts getting to the point to where it gets you a free car. It might get you to
Yeah.
the point to where it pays your mortgage. It's that's the mentality you have to have, is the slow and steady. Get out of that meme
Hmm.
coin mindset of, I'm going to put $100 in a meme coin and I'm going to get rich overnight. Um, by all means,
Like that cartoon video that Drew shared today. The
well, yeah.
Did you
Actually,
see
I'm the one that
that?
I'm not sure if he shared the one that I sent him, but I sent that to him.
Oh yeah.
So
Man, can I borrow $5?
yeah. It's like, oh man, it's a rough world. It's a rough world. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, slow and steady, man.
so get in that mindset of slow and steady wins the race. When it comes to DeFi, don't APR hunt. Like, again, in my closing thoughts, stick with stick with an AMM. Stick with lending. It's very
Hmm.
low risk. Almost guaranteed yield, and get your toe dipped in. Get comfortable and just slowly DCA in. As you learn and as you feel comfortable, and just again, slow and steady grow your bags, and get to a point to where, yeah, maybe you start out with $1,000. After a month or two, maybe you have 2 grand. Then you have 4 grand, then
Hmm.
you have 8 grand, then you have 16 grand. It's just you know that's the compounding, that's the power of compounding. So that's
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. Do you have any closing thoughts there, Jeff?
I Well, not so much closing thoughts, but I have one kind of important project update that has been actually years in development. It's a very hyped and highly anticipated testnet launch called Monad. It's a layer one blockchain. Let me share my screen. But their testnet is launching on the 19th. And can you share hit my screen?
Oh, sorry.
Just
Oh,
toss it over. You're good. Um, so yeah, they've been in development for years now, and they're finally launching, and they're claiming to be layer one blockchain, bringing parallel execution to the Ethereum virtual machine, 10,000 transactions per second. So they're
what does that mean? Because I'll be honest, I don't even know what that means. What's parallel execution?
so on Ethereum, essentially these what they call monolithic blockchains, where everything is just on one layer. Where imagine a highway and you just have one lane, and all the data and transactions and stuff are trying to go through. Hence why the gas prices go through the roof when transactions spike on the network. Well, this is allowing almost different layers for transactions and messages and data to be executed on. So it can allow, right now, Ethereum has, I think, oh shit, what is it, 13 or 14 transactions per second that it can go through. It might be more. But this is for a layer one blockchain, allowing 10,000 transactions per second is pretty robust. But they're trying to basically overtake. They want to overtake Ethereum as like a much faster, secure layer one blockchain. So and it is really hyped. I forget who's backing it, but it's something that you definitely want to keep on your radar. Yeah, just a heads up, because this I've been waiting on this test net for a few years myself, and seeing it finally coming up soon is exciting. But yeah, and we need this, man, you know, because Ethereum, it fucking sucks. It sucks. And you have a lot of layer twos that are great, you know, Base being one that is leading the charge as far as onboarding new users and users from Web 2. But we need a good like layer one outside of Ethereum, and Solana too. You know, Solana's the layer one, but that one's more meme focused, right? A lot of the fucking meme coins and stuff. And you even saw it when the Trump token launched, and even Libra, with the shit that came with Libra. A lot of Solana's down. A lot of the money's leaving the ecosystem and going to other places. So we desperately need better layer ones, and because they are more secure than layer twos. That's just a fact. And seeing something compete with Ethereum would be great. But yeah, Monad, check it out. And I'll be posting stuff on this, because I will be balls deep in this. But so I will show you how to participate in the test net if anyone is interested, because you never know what kind of rewards you might get. So, but yeah, that's all I got for that.
Sweet. Well, all right. Well, I think with that, let's look and see if anybody got any questions for us before we wrap things up. After Barra screwed us on testnet, I hope Monad will do better.
Oh my god, yeah, man. Pi Network too. I haven't done anything with Pi Network, but I know people have been farming that for years now. I never thought it was going to actually launch, but yeah, that Barra chain was sad, man. Let's see.
The hell?
Sub 7 was a hacking program back in the early 2000s. Huh, that's interesting. I'll have to ask my brother about that. He's a coder.
He's a software guy.
Oh yeah, he was programming and shit in high school. 15 years old. Oh man. Yeah, he's actually working on a trading indicator right now.
All righty. Well, if nobody
real quick, Rich J. Yeah, real quick, Rich J. What do you think will happen to APR when institutions come in? And I've wondered that myself. What didn't we kind of touch on that a week or two ago? You know, I thought that APRs might come down a lot, but maybe not in some of the more volatile pools, like the meme focused or the VVVs specifically. You know, you could see higher APRs on those, but
well, basically, what's going to give you the APRs is two things in my mind. It's going to be total value locked. With the concentrated liquidity pools, it's going to be how much of that TVL is in range, and the volume, which is kind of the way it is now. Is if you have a smaller amount of money that's in range earning, and a large amount of fees, it's getting, those fees are getting split up, among a smaller amount of people. The more people that are in range, or the more TVL that is within range, then it has to be split up. It kind of dilutes it. So yeah, as DeFi gets more and more mainstream and popular, absolutely, you're probably not going to see 1,000%, 5,000% APRs. You're going to be seeing 10%, 5%, things like that. That's why it's important that you get in right now and make your nut. Get to where you have a couple $100 grand or something like that, so that when the time comes and you've built up a nice DeFi portfolio, to where if you got $300,000 or $400,000 in there, and you can make a steady 10%, with varying risk. You have some that's low risk, some that's high risk, and whatever your risk tolerance is. Then if you can make a steady 10-15% off of $500,000, then you're making $50,000 a year. That's a nice little chunk of change. That if you have a regular job and stuff like that, and you're making an extra $50,000 a year to invest in real estate, more crypto, stocks, and you just keep growing that portfolio. Maybe it's not going to grow as fast as when you were making 500% APR, but again, it's free money. It's mailbox money. It's money that you're making while you're sleeping. It's money you're making while you're fishing. It's money while you're making when you're at your regular job. So that's
in 30 years, man, 20, 30 years, long term. If you're young too, fuck. Well, even you, 10 years. I mean, that's still like hell. You'll be, even 5 years, you'll be sitting good, and you're 50. So
you figure 10 years, if you're if you're not pulling anything out and you're making 10%, in 10 years you would 100%, you would double your money. So if you had 500,000, you'd have $1 million. If you went for another 10 years, and of course, you're buying things that if you're buying real estate, real estate's going to probably appreciate faster than 10%. There's just a lot of different things that you can do. So, the key is, get in early, just like anything. Like crypto, if you got in early, you made a shit ton of money. Freaking, if you got in early on Amazon, if you got in early on Microsoft, that's the key, is get in early, make the money before it becomes mainstream, and you're going to be more knowledgeable and and be in a better position when the time comes, to where, just like the crypto market, I honestly, as regulation and crypto becomes more mainstream, I mean, you see diminishing returns already. The crypto market is going to flatten out. It doesn't, you don't have to be a freaking, brain surgeon to freaking, a rocket surgeon to freaking see it. It's slowly over time. The larger the market cap, the harder it is going to be to manipulate it, like it's being manipulated now. And you're going to, we're not going to be seeing 100% a day, and price appreciation and stuff like that.
No,
that's it's just you're just not. So, yeah, I guess that's where I'll end it.
It's a good way to end it, man.
So
here.
Yeah, so I hope everybody's bags start pumping here soon. I'm definitely watching mine and hoping mine do. So, fingers crossed. It kind of seems like the mood right now in the market is that, but it has been for the past couple of months. Everybody, all the influencers keep on saying that, any day now, any day now, any day now. And it's like, well, I guess technically any day doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be this week. So.
No. Hey, I hope, I don't know, I still kind of feel like we'll be under 100K at the end of the month, but I hope we get a nice little pump.
Yeah,
I'm still
absolutely. All right. Well,
at least sideways is better than down.
Absolutely. Well, Deadwood, Danny Boy, Rich, appreciate all of you showing up. All of you that end up tuning in after we're live. all of you, if you could please like and share this. Again, me and Jeff just do this. We take this time every week to put this content out. We don't monetize. We don't ask you guys to become members. We don't ask you to give money or anything like that. This is 100%. We just enjoy helping people out there because we understand that crypto can be daunting. DeFi can be intimidating, to get into, and especially if you don't have a lot of money to play with. So, please, support us in that way. If you could like and share, greatly appreciate it. With that,
oh yeah,
Veteran Crypto out.
later, fellas.